I believe we're on. Yes, I think we are. Okay, let me get a little light on my notes here. This is just some Sunday afternoon stuff, just some quick notes. The first thing is I was having lunch with my editor today, and he said, Gavin Newsom is the U.S. version of Justin Trudeau, only taller. And in that, I would have to agree. They're both so pretty. They got that beaming smile. Teeth that'll blind you. And they sure know how to wear a business suit and a tie. But they're both selfish. They're both Marxists. And they both hate the citizens that they rule over. And so that's all I'm going to say about Gavin Newsom. Oh, no, it's not either. My next one was, have you seen the letter that Gavin wrote to President Trump? Pretty much chiding him for his need to be more cooperative as his poor state goes through such a horrible, horrible incident of all those fires that as of right now they're still burning. And they're worried. It is my understanding they're worried about him coming down to the museum there, to the UCLA campus. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I've heard. And I bet the people at the museum are moving everything into a fire retardant basement area and shutting that sucker up tight. I wouldn't care if the UCLA campus burned down. Been nothing but trouble for a long time. But, let's just hope it doesn't. Let me see what else. Anyway, this letter. I rewrote it. You'd have to look at my timeline under the constrained view. I rewrote the letter to say what Gavin wanted to say, so I'll let you read that. But this letter landed with a big thump. It was DOA when it hit the news. It went around the world with people going, what is this man thinking? He's running for president, so he's trying to act all presidential. It is not working, Gavin. Gavin, do you hear me? It's not working. Okay, let's see what's next. Oh, good news. James Woods, who cried because his house burned down, because he thought it did. The last Twitter thing he made before he left his house was pictures of the flames coming up the hill towards his house. And they were all around. And he took off to save himself. And I'm sure his wife, family, anybody that was there with him. But he just found out that the fire just kind of sort of went around his house somehow and didn't get it. Yay. Fire and tornadoes, you never know what they're going to do. You just really don't. Okay, so I wake up Friday morning to snow. It's awesome. I woke up because everything was very quiet. It had that muffle over it. And I said, aha, there must be snow. So I went out, and sure enough, there was snow. So later in the day, I realized I needed to sweep off my steps because I have a set of steps that go down from the balcony where my condo is down to the main landing. I'm going to get out there and sweep all that off, this sort of thing. I was being careful going down those stairs. Yet I wasn't careful enough. And poof, my feet went out from under me and I landed smack on my gluteus maximus and boom, boom, boom. And I'm trying to hold on so that I don't just slide super fast. Well, I'm sore, but I didn't break anything. And the only thing that got hurt was my pride. So there we go. Okay, the deep state and the media cooperation with them is still going full force. But here is what has changed in the last, well, since the first part of November. And actually, it it had started before that, but now it's even stronger. And what it is that pushback against all the spin and the flat out lies, the pushback. So now you got Gavin coming on with that letter. Boom. There is widespread pushback against the crap that he's saying. Widespread. He doesn't know what to do. Yay. Maybe he'll slow down a bit. Oh, yeah. And since Trump won in November, what has also changed is that everybody now knows throwing money at elections, campaigning stuff, is no longer going to work like it did. So I think they should, which is not going to stop people from trying. And let's just say that the Democrats, they don't want any campaign finance limits put on. And they still want to throw all the big bucks. Well, if they're going to continue to throw huge bucks, what was it, $2 billion Kamala spent? $2 billion? Give me a break. Well, yes, of course. You have to meet force with force. But the money that Trump spent was not near that much. Not near that much. And part of the reason is because he had citizen journalists such as myself and others out there going, okay, here's what's going on. And little by little, messages were getting out. And it was a strong tide of that. Democrats didn't have that. All they had was the mainstream media on their side. That was it. They paid for a few rich people, but look what it got them. Nothing. So, okay, that's that. Now, Robbie Williams, there's a new movie out called Better Man that, frankly, I was going to skip. Because to tell you the truth, it just looks stupid. A monkey going around pretending to be a pop star. Well, I did a little research into it because there was a story that said that the Golden Globe, I think it was the Golden Globes or whatever, denied that he could be part of, his song could be part of the Oscar contention. One of those things like that. He said, whatever, the rules are the rules, because this was a song that he and two other fellows wrote a long time ago and had already recorded. And they said, no, songs that go in movies to be up for an award have to be original and written for this particular movie, and that it wasn't. And he was good with that. But that got me to thinking, why is a monkey representing a pop star and called A Better Man? And it's the story of Robbie Williams' life. Now, does anybody remember the song he did called Me and My Monkey? Well, if you don't know that song, you need to Google it, YouTube it, DuckDuckGo it, whatever you gotta do. That song is fabulous. Fabulous. And until I heard that song, which, by the way, DJ Alan White is the one that introduced me to it. He goes, Angela, you're going to love this song. He played it once when I went out to dance one night, and I've been a fan ever since. Well, then, long story short, I was able to get a copy of the Robbie Williams concert in 2003 at Nebworth. Now, Nebworth, I did a little, what's Nebworth? There was 375,000 people there for that concert. Well, Nebworth is in the United Kingdom, England, Herefordshire. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. But it's a very famous pop and jazz concert area. and a lot of people come and do that. There's a something called Nebworth House, and they have a website all about it. Just search it. But let me read to you some of the things that was really, really, really good. In 1970s, it was the Led Zeppelin's last UK show with the original lineup played there. Now, I like Led Zeppelin. And then in 1980s, it was Queen's last show with Freddie Mercury. That was there. And then there was this, it says in the 1990s, the ultimate Britpop weekend with Oasis. I've never heard of Oasis. Does anybody know who Oasis is? They must have pulled a big crowd because there was 250,000 people there. But the biggest British music event ever in Nebworth's history, and I think possibly even in UK history, was when Robbie Williams played Nebworth and with this show. Now, I already liked his song "Me and My Monkey," and I knew nothing else about him other than I knew he was a genius. And somehow or another, he used to be with some boy band or something when he was younger, and then went out on his own. I don't know, and I don't care, because "Me and My Monkey" is beyond awesome. It's a very long song. Tells a great story. But it's "Me and My Monkey." Anyway, here he is in this concert. Now, I've seen individual acts on a stage in front of huge crowds, and I've seen them command the stage. I know what that looks like. I know what it takes to be able to hold an audience like that. Elvis could do it. I don't know if he ever did it in that big a amount of people, because things were different before he died. But Elvis would have been one that could do it. He had command of the stage. He had the show down pat. He could go with the flow if something changed. I've seen a lot of different single acts with backup bands and singers and that sort of thing who commanded attention, and I know what it took, and I knew how I felt about them. But when I saw Robbie Williams, if you're hearing this, I have never seen command of a stage and an audience like I saw in that concert. My God, it was a tour de force. And I do not use that word lightly, because I'm a writer and I know what words mean. And it was a tour de force. I have no more words. I cried at the end. It was so wonderful. I cried out of pure joy, just pure joy. And I thought, if I was standing in that audience and felt the vibrational patterns of all of his voice coming through my body physically, and the speakers and the musicians, and then when he got his mama up, oh my gosh, she was a hoot. But the thing is, if I had been there to soak up the actual vibrational patterns that were coming across the audience, would I have died because I would have been so happy? It's possible. It is possible. All I did was listen to it on a computer in little headphones, and I still cried with joy. So that's all for today. Robbie Williams is awesome. Gavin Newsom is sucky, as are a bunch of other people. But we'll end on a high note right now. Oh, hey, I'm thinking about also pulling up some of my authors because I have a small publishing company. You can learn more about it at blueroombooks.com. Blueroombooks.com. Oh, there it is right there. Blueroombooks.com. See? Blue Room Books. I have several authors. I only take books that I really, really like. Whether or not they'll make any money is a whole nother subject that I don't even get into. But I'm probably going to go through these books and I'm going to find short passages that are in it, read it, tell you why I like the book and that you might like it too. So we'll be doing that as time goes on. Anyway, you can always leave a message or tell me who Oasis is in a message or a comment. You know how it goes. Bye, y'all.